Welcome back to Behind the Headlines. In this segment, Dave and I are going to be talking about cyber schools, and we are joined today by Dr. Dennis Tooley, who is the CEO of Commonwealth Connections Academy, a Pennsylvania cyber school, and our special guest is Hope Frick, who is a sophomore at the Commonwealth Connections Academy. Welcome.
Thank you.
And more just in terms of disclosure,
Sure.
I should also let the viewers know that along with my, my job with the Manufacturers Association, that I'm also a school board member at Commonwealth Connections Academy.
Great. Well, thanks for telling us that.
You bet.
Well, why don't we start out with a little bit of background on cyber schools? Not everybody in Pennsylvania is aware of them, but they are growing dramatically over the last several years. So
we are. We're very fortunate to be in existence for 5 years. We received our charter in 2002, and a year later we started our school. At the time, we started with 400 children and 8 teachers. We have 2,100 students now and about 75 teachers. We teach students from across the state. There are no boundaries except the state boundaries. We've been growing gradually. We now have a satellite office in Philadelphia, and we are planning a satellite office in Lehighton, which is north of Allentown, and one in Pittsburgh. Our students come to us from grades K through 12 next year. We're adding 12th grade next year, so we'll be a K through 12 school. And we're enjoying what we're doing because we're providing a real choice to families who are looking for a choice in their educational delivery system other than the bricks and mortar setting. So we're very happy with what we're doing.
great. Well, Hope, as a student at a cyber school, can you give us a little bit about what your experience is like and how it's different from being in a traditional high school setting?
Well, I personally really enjoy it. It's a lot different than a school setting. Everything's online that I do my work on, and I don't have the distractions of other kids, and they can focus on me. I can go to classes and I can talk to other kids in like a chat room setting, and I can email the teachers and they can work one-on-one with me about my work.
What's your favorite subject?
Well, I want to be a journalist, so I really like journalism.
Oh, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, Dennis, describe to the viewers who may be unfamiliar with this how the school operates and how how do the students learn over a computer? What does the school provide to them?
And it's a difficult thing because some people say, my child's sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours a day, and that's really not how it works. People inquire and enroll with our school online or by mail or by telephone. When they enroll and fill out a couple forms, a couple pieces of paperwork, we send them a computer, a printer, and all the technology that's needed, plus a full curriculum, books for their entire grade for what they need. They then make contact with our teachers, and they have someone in the home we call a learning coach, who is our adult contact person, someone who makes sure they're doing their lessons, someone who makes sure they're attending school on a regular basis. But our teachers, back at the other end of the internet, make sure that the students are on track and are learning at the pace that is being planned, are staying with the curriculum. And they conduct live lessons, sometimes once or twice a week, where if there's a particular lesson that has to be taught, that rather than learn just out of the book, the teacher will conduct the lesson, invite all the children that she teaches or he teaches to the lesson, and the lesson is done on a two-way
Like a webcam.
Like a webcam.
So
like
there's
virtual,
video,
right.
and then there's also interactivity with
Right.
a whiteboard and a chat room function for the teacher
They can
to
ask
receive
questions during the lessons, yeah.
It's incredibly dynamic, and it's also really cool in that if the student, because of scheduling, can't attend that lecture in real time, that all of the live lessons are archived, and then that the student can go back and experience them later on. It's tremendously dynamic.
Which goes to some of the audience that we attract, and that is not all children can learn from 8 to 3, whether it's a moving family, a traveling family, students we have 4 students that are trying out for the Junior Olympics who are practicing all day. But you can do these lessons at any time.
So you can work at your own pace.
You can work at your own pace. You can work on a Saturday or Sunday if you have to catch up hours. You can travel and come back and get the lessons done.
If you get in the groove on a particular subject, you can keep doing that all afternoon instead of being limited to just 60 minutes or 90 minutes for a class period.
Exactly. There's a great deal of flexibility built into the program.
How do the parents, what response has there been in terms of student satisfaction, student achievement, and parental satisfaction?
Well, in the parental satisfaction, I just got that survey back. We survey parents and students every year. In the parental satisfaction survey, 90% of our parents gave us A's or B's for this year for the delivery system. And that's actually higher than I thought, because technology was a little difficult for us this year, but we got through it, and our parents and children are very satisfied. In terms of achievement, we are working very hard to make AYP, which, as you know, is the testing.
Annual yearly progress.
Yeah, the big testing issue. We have 12 subgroups. That means there are 12 different groups that are sorted out. Elementary reading, elementary math, middle school reading, middle school math. We made AYP in 11 out of the 12 groups, and we made 100% in participation. So we're doing very well, but we want to make it 12 out of 12 this year, and we want to get there in every area.
Look, I was just going to say, since the inception of cyber schools, you've been under the gun a little bit. I mean, there are a lot of people who don't really understand what you're doing, and you're always competing for funding. And I understand there's some issues that you're facing this spring in the General Assembly.
Yes, there's some pending legislation that threatens to restrict and to cut our funding, and also not recognize our teachers as professional educators. And of course, that we're very opposed to that, because we believe we're doing as good a job as our brothers and sisters in the public school bricks and mortar sector. But we need that recognition, and we also believe that the issue is not with the quality of our education, but with the funding issue. And if they can get that resolved, we believe we can peacefully coexist in the educational landscape with all the other public schools in Pennsylvania. But that has to be resolved, and right now we're working at educating everybody on what we do and how we do what we do, and trying to convince them and show them that we do belong here in Pennsylvania for the children and the families of the state.
I was going to say, along with that, the advances in technology, I mean, that's one of the things that impresses me most about the school, is the dynamism of the technological capacity
Yes.
that undergirds the school, the quality of the curriculum, of course the presence of the learning coach, parent or guardian, with the student, that those things, very helpful, sort of student-focused learning. I think that's one of the
Very
strengths
much
of this
so.
particular method.
I was telling someone the situation is this: that technology is one of those areas where the younger generation knows more than we do, the older generation, about what's going on. So when we send all the technology to the home, the people that have least difficulty with it are the students. The students usually pick up, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
They pick up on it right away. Usually the learning coach in the school is trying to harmonize a little bit and to get everything in order, and that happens quite readily. But it's really the technology that we use is very complex, and it's outstanding in that it monitors everything she does. She can talk to us at any time. She can leave logs. All of her grades are monitored by our teachers, all virtually, all on the internet.
Do the parents have the ability to go in and look at the same
Parents look at
information?
it. Matter of fact, the parents can input to that, like if they're having an illness in the family, or some tragedy occurs in the family, the parents can tell us about it, and our teachers that can then make allowances for assignments to be done later. All that is communicated, but as I said, it's mostly difficult for the learning coach to get on board. The students are usually the first ones that are right on board with us. And you had no difficulty, I'm sure, adapting to what we're doing.
Nope.
Just went right in and just go ahead and did it. Huh?
And in this context, do you feel like you're getting more individual attention than you did in the physical public school?
Actually, yes, I do. Actually, I just submitted a journalism paper, and I got more praise for it than I did in my month and a half of cyber school than I did like my 10 years in other schools. So they're really encouraging, and they really work on you, and they really care about how you're doing, and they want you to succeed. And I really enjoy that.
So you're planning on sticking with it?
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
if you ran into somebody on the street today who was thinking about it, what would you tell them was the biggest advantage to being in a cyber school?
Well, that you can work at your own pace, and you can be flexible with it, and you can't do what you want to do. I mean, you have to be disciplined about it, but they cater to you, and they help you, and they're really encouraging, and that could be really helpful.
So Dennis, in the coming years, now that we've added 12th grade and there's a full program, K through 12, the student can stay in the school, earn a diploma through the school, what are the goals for growth for Commonwealth Connections Academy?
Well, we're sorting that out, David. As you know, we're wondering. We've grown rapidly, and we also know that there's probably an optimum size. We haven't reached that size yet, but we also, in the back of our minds, which is actually at the forefront, is this: we want to serve every child and every family to the best of our ability. we don't want to get to a number in terms of growth that, you know, we lose sight of some of the families and children are dropping through the cracks that's happening too often today, and we don't want that to happen. We want her to get that kind of attention that she's getting now, no matter what our delivery system happens to be, whether it goes to 12th grade or 3,000 students. But at some point, in terms of growth, we're going to have to be very concerned about that, and I don't know what that magic number is, but we will never lose sight of the fact that one of our strong points is our individual attention and the achievement of our children and the satisfaction of their parents, and that keeps us going. That keeps us motivated.
Well, I think it's important to note that each of the cyber schools is an independent entity, correct?
Right.
And
Yes,
you are in competition with one another.
Good point.
So-
you know, everyone
so
just
you're-
thinks we're out there by ourselves. That's
Well,
not the
you're not
case.
one big happy group. I'm like, well, you're a happy group, but you need to strive to be better because you are trying to attract
Right.
the same students. It's
Our
a
competition comes from many different levels, and that's part of why the bricks and mortar schools, because they haven't had competition, that's part of the issue, that they haven't had the competition. But we not only have competition from the private schools and the bricks and mortar schools, there are 10 other cyber schools, and there are 20,000 children in the state serving children,
being served
through
by.
cyber schools. And so, yes, we do have a lot of competition, and some cyber schools are much larger than us, and a couple are smaller than us, but there is competition in this delivery system also.
I think there's a misconception that if you people are starting or think you can start a cyber school just to make money off of it, but that really
Well,
isn't
Good
really
grief.
isn't the
You're
goal or
welcome to
objective.
check us out. We tested for PSSAs in April,
Yeah.
and our budget for testing this year was $100,000 because we go to every community and test our children in their community. The bricks and mortar schools, the children go to the cafeteria and take the test. There's no expense.
So state funding is as critical to you
Well,
as it is to
certainly.
anybody
We have
else.
98% of our teachers are highly qualified, which means they're certified, and you know we pay the teacher salaries. We have all the expenses that people forget about when they think about cyber school. We have those expenses, and it is quite challenging.
Well, Hope, we're winding down here. We're very happy to have you.
Thank you.
Any last words for us on what it's like to be a cyber student?
No, I just really enjoy it. That's it. It's a lot different than other school settings that I've been in, but I really enjoy it, and it's different. I think a lot more kids should do it.
I'm glad it works for you.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. We're really very happy to have you here today. And
Thank you.
And Dr. Tooley, we thank you very much for being here
Pleasure.
and especially educating our viewers on this issue. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there and just lack of understanding of what
Right.
cyber schools are in Pennsylvania. So we thank you very much.
Thank you.
Join us next week on another edition of Behind the Headlines.